Y'all already know what it is. Your boy Yaakov, what it do? The outlet to reality, the holdest podcast in Vegas and Chicago. What up? This is the place where you want to hide from your drama or maybe hide from your baby mama. Aha! Just kidding. Y si tú quieres cambiar tu vida, if you want to change your life, then subscribe. Cha-ching! And by the way, guys, I just published a book out. It's out on Amazon called Shabbat in Chicago. It's about an audacious single mom who opens her heart and home to five adopted kids while embracing her Latino culture while being Jewish. And today we have a very special guest. I consider him one of my closest friends, family, the one and only Tristan. Yeah!
Yes, sir. Let's go.
What's up, my brother? You've been the hardest guest to ever get because you've been hiding from me, you know?
A busy man, you know.
I see. That's why you got the fan on. You ready to fly away?
Yeah, fans in the background, you know.
Yeah. Well, look, brother, I want to say something. For those who don't know, I know Tristan for about 3.5 years, almost four. Is a long time. And we've done so much things. Like we're talking Halloween, birthdays. But one of my favorite moments with Tristan, and I probably told him this like hundreds of times, is when he invited me for Thanksgiving. It was so nice. His mom, Dana, and and Paul, wonderful people. They were so nice that they changed the whole menu. Usually they have whatever food they cook wrapped in bacon, but they changed it so that way I wouldn't feel left out. But one of my favorite moments is when we're taking a shot with his mom, right? Doing a little l'chaim. The second shot, I spilled on the floor, and Dana goes, David! And I said, sorry. And I couldn't stop laughing. And it's something that we'll never forget, Tristan and I, because his mom doesn't drink. So it was rare to see her take two shots with us.
Mhm.
I felt like we were changing history. So it was a cool moment.
It was
Um,
hilarious.
but what about you, brother? Any like what's your one of your favorite memories with me that because I know you know a lot, but what comes to your mind?
Yeah, probably. Just like Thanksgiving too. Like just same time. Like my family always plays games and whatnot, and we're like super big on games. Like we do not mess around. We don't care if it's your first time or what. Like we're gonna try and beat you. So it's pretty funny, like just trying to teach you the games, especially like when you start winning. Like just for example, when we were on the cruise, when we all played like my big family game, and I was trying to teach you how to play, and you were like, acting like you didn't know what you're doing. And next thing you know, you like beat everyone, and my mom and pa are like, "What the?" I'm like, "Yeah, David won," and you're just all like sitting there all quiet and shit. So that was pretty funny. That was cool. But yeah, just drinking, you getting to know like my family and stuff, like really cool, especially if they like you and everything. So that David's more than welcome to come back, or he's cool people and stuff. So that's always super important, I think, to get the mom's approval or the parents' approval with friends and whatnot, because they can definitely see through all the BS, that we might not be able to see just because we see each other like day to day.
Right. That's true. And I want to say that one funny moment is that your sister Brittany, she brought up about the cruise,
Mhm.
and I said, man, that sounds pretty cool. And I remember when you're like, yeah, brother, it's like 4,000. I don't know if you can go. You see, yes. And I said, damn, brother, for sure I ain't going. 4,000, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah,
And Bernie's like, no, you should really go. And I said, look, I would love to go, but I wasn't invited. I don't want to, I think it's cool that y'all were going. And she goes, but I'm inviting you. I was like, oh, I guess I'm special. Yes. It was so dope that, she said, yeah. And we really made it happen. Like, we actually went,
yeah.
which is crazy. 7 days, 2 days in Canada, technically.
Mhm.
Um, and I've never been on a cruise, and I haven't renewed my passport for 5 years. So, thanks to you, you helped me get that done. Brother, what was your, you know, take us to the process of like what was going through your mind going to this cruise, and then like your favorite moment or favorite part of the trip that you
Mhm.
could remember. You know?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much like obviously like the whole trip was like new to me, and like obviously like you never been on a cruise. Last time I was on a cruise, I was like I don't know 10 or 12, so I don't really remember anything. But just from the start, from being like picked up in a limo to all wearing matching shirts, then to go into the Airbnb, which we just hung out with, played little drinking games and whatnot, which you lost like every game. Don't forget that. So, you had to take some shots, which was cool. And then going on the cruise, just like being like with a bunch of people that I wasn't, 100% familiar with, and you were like 0% familiar with, but just all of us like clicking so fast and like no drama, no negativity, just everyone just clicking, drinking, eating, dancing, singing, like playing games like nonstop. Just always doing something was like lots of fun. Um, and then just walk around in each town, like we have like no clue where we're walking, you know, got no connection on our phones. Our phones are like little iPods, like that's literally it. And then just trying all the new food. So, like, I think we ate salmon like at least once a day, like every day. So that was super cool. And probably, just food. I mean, I'm a big like foodie, like I'll eat anything and everything. So it's super cool just to go try new food and whatnot and expand your horizons or whatever.
I love that. I love that. And with the salmon, I remember you were saying how Mexico was your favorite when it compared to like who has the best salmon.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
said Mexico was hands down your top.
yeah. I don't know if Alaska beat it because Alaska is really good, but just the teriyaki salmon I've had in Mexico is insane. I know like Mexico is not known for their salmon or anything, but I don't know if one beats one or what, but it's some good food. I feel like in Vegas and all the restaurants here, that's so like plain. Like it's not really like not too tasteful. Like I don't want it like super saucy, but I don't know what it is.
And what do you think about when we went to go to? I think it was Ketchikan, the town.
Mhm.
You try the king crab,
Yeah.
with your mom. What do you think? Like, do you think it was really good, or was I, or
Yeah, I mean it was expensive, like $100 for 1 pound. Like that's a lot, But I mean it was super good. I definitely don't think it's worth the money, especially you have to work for your food, crack it open, get it out and everything. But not gonna lie, it was probably the best crab I've ever had in my life. So definitely don't regret it. Like when in Alaska, you gotta eat the crab and the salmon or you know what I mean, just anywhere when you're near the water, whether it be Alaska or East Coast or anywhere like that. But yeah, I'll never forget that. Some big ass king crab.
man? I'm not gonna lie. When I saw you eat it, brother, and my mouth started drooling because I'm gonna be honest, I don't eat that, right? I'm trying to
Yeah.
keep it kosher.
Hmm.
But to see you eat it, and I used to, as a kid, I used to sneak at my friend's house and eat it,
Hmm.
and that's my favorite food: lobster or crab and shrimp. And my mom never found out, but that's my favorite thing to eat. And till this day, like just being next to you, I was so tempted to say, "Bro, let me try it."
Yeah,
I
like
say,
let me get one bite.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's just a little bit with extra butter. I'll be
Yeah.
better, okay?
Yeah.
Uh, but I didn't. I didn't. But I do want to say one thing before I share my perspective
Mm.
in the whole trip.
Yeah.
I was so fascinated that when we got picked up by one of your friends, and she had a lot of questions about what is kosher, why is kosher food so expensive, what's the process like. I was so proud of you, brother. For ladies and gentlemen, by the way, Tristan's my Jewish brother. I think that's what got us more tight. But not only that, I was so proud of him because, and I said that to him today in person because, my brother's been coming to my Tuesday night class where we study Midrash. We call it the soul session where men get together and we get real deep. But it was amazing that my boy, he paid attention. That's how I knew he paid attention, because I was about to answer to his friend about what is kosher, and I love that he jumped in. He's like, "Yeah, you can't mix dairy with meat," and I was like, "Whoa, my brother, he remembers."
Take notes, you know.
Yeah, yeah. And I just gotta say, bro, I was so proud of you, because you're learning, we're growing together. It means
Yeah.
a lot. It means a lot. Um, Going on the cruise, right? I gotta say this, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, my boy put so much time to this, okay? He forgot to mention one thing. He orchestrated his parents to renew their vows, okay? Dana and Paul.
Mhm.
He had it all set up. It was so cool because they had no idea. Um, I was given the opportunity to officiate the wedding, which was amazing. Wear my little kippah, got to
Mhm.
share some stories. And for me, I'll be honest, that was my highlight of the whole cruise,
Oh yeah.
because I got to see these two people, know them in a personal level, and meet the family and share what they meant to me and what they meant to each other. Like, give them a blessing, a story. And I think that was so powerful. I even talked to your mom yesterday. We were
Mhm.
texting. I sent her the video of the whole ceremony, and I edited it, put it together, and she loved it. She's like, "Thank you." She's like, "I'm so happy you came to this trip. It wouldn't be the same," and it meant a lot. It touched my heart. And I
Yeah.
told her, "Your family, um, you know, thanks to you, I'm happy to call you guys family." So it meant a lot from her words.
Mhm.
Brother, if you could share real quick too, like, what do you think, like, during the ceremony? What was your perspective? What do you remember from that night?
Yeah. So like just to start, like probably no one knows it except for like me and Bryce, but like you didn't like leave the room like the whole day. Like you were like practicing, which was super cool. Like you were like rehearsing your speech and your wording and your introductions or whatever it may be, which was super cool. Like I asked you, I was like, "Come on, bro, like let's go eat." You're like, "No, no, I already got a burger. I'm gonna chill here and I'm just practicing," which was cool because you like really like cared about it. It's not like you just like, "Yeah, let me write this script down and I'm not gonna put any effort into it. I'm just gonna read off the script." But you have like no script, no notebook, no notes, nothing. You just like not necessarily straight off the dome, but like straight off the dome, like right off your head, you just went ahead and started like, started talking. You already, pre rehearsed some things obviously to make it run smooth, but it was super cool to see you like put the time and effort in into like two people like yes, you know them, but you don't know them like super well, It's not like you've known them forever and you've been on trips with them, like it's just like two people that mean a lot to you or mean a lot to me. So you're like respecting them almost as much as I would respect them, So that was super cool to see. Just you put like the time and effort in, and then when you were there, it made the crowd laugh a little bit, all that. But then we're also like serious and like gave some like some cool blessings that they never like gotten before. So that was cool. Obviously, we're not like super big in religion or anything, but we definitely like you kind of like dummied it down or like simplified it, like you didn't get all like start saying words we don't understand, but you actually like made us understand it and like respect it at the same time. Like we actually knew what you were saying, you got the message across. And remember Paul was like, "Oh, so I'm so and so." You're like, "Yep, see, you're listening." So it was cool, like you actually like and it was cool that he was actually listening too, because you never know, you could be telling people stories about the Bible or whatever and they'll be like, "Yeah, cool," and they have no clue what you just said. But like if someone like kind of follows up with it and I was like, "Oh, so this is this is that," you're like, "Oh shit, like you're actually listening to me." So I thought that was pretty cool. Like when I noticed that, I was like, "Oh wow, like that's pretty sick." But yeah, it was nice, short and sweet, like just like everyone wanted. We wrote their vows for them, so that was pretty funny because they were saying stuff that they would say slash wouldn't say, so that was super cool. Um, and then we all went to dinner after and had a great time. So it was simple. Went and partied, drank after, and it was just like the wedding they never had. Kind of like people were like, "Oh, you're my little brother I never had." that's just a wedding that they never had. So it was super cool, and they'll probably never forget it either. They got their vows they can save, and when they're going to say they had a impromptu, whatever you would call it, like wedding, just out of nowhere in the middle of the ocean. So overall, it was sweet. It was short, sweet, caring. Like got a little emotional and stuff because feelings start going in the air and whatnot. But yeah, it was super cool. So I appreciate everything you did.
Of course, of course. I thank you, brother, for trusting me. You could have picked Phil, Harry,
Yeah.
Larry, but I'm happy that you picked me, and it meant a lot. I want to say too, brother. I felt like seeing your mom cry, right, when she
Mhm.
was reading the vows, and seeing all this big surprise. And I know for you had to be emotional, being her son. What describe that feeling? Because I mean, as a son, that had to be one of the best feelings, knowing that you were able to do this for your mom. Like, if you could share.
Yeah, for sure. And even like with Paul, like when stuff like that happens, they know like that's kind of like my thing is like giving or surprises or just pouring my heart out to them or whatever. So they're like, well, I'm guessing you had a pretty big say or pretty big, pretty big meaning, pretty big role behind all this. I'm like, yeah, kind of, like obviously it was me, my Aunt Jen, and our family friend Gina. Like we all like kind of orchestrated it, but at the end of the day, like without one of us, like it couldn't all happen. So to make sure like it all got put through, but when it comes to my mom and like crying, like if I see my mom cry, yeah, I'm crying. It's a wrap. Like just someone like you love that much, like not so that they're hurting, like not that type of crying, but they're just so happy. I'm like, oh shoot, like it's so cool that I made her that happy, and she like cares so much. I could have done all that, and she could have been like, thanks, appreciate it. But like, no, she was like, crying or like, thanked me like 6 times. Like after she's like, thank you so much, thank you so much. I'm like, all right, I get it. But like to her, like she just can't say it enough. Like call me the night after we got back to Vegas. She's like, just thank you so much. Next morning, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like so she's just so like thankful because like we don't have to do that type of stuff. You didn't have to do that. I didn't have to do that. But it's just like just in our blood, just to be giving and know like I'm not expecting anything in the return. I'm just trying to be a good person, and whatever happens, happens. So I don't need anything back. I don't expect someone to react a certain way. I just want to do something for them, be nice to them, and if they appreciate it, cool. If they don't, I'm still happy because I gave what I wanted to give to them.
Wow, that's beautiful, brother. I love that. That was deep, man. You making me. I got the chills, brother. They're multiplying. You know, you gonna say. But look, brother, I want to say something too. I think one thing that was very powerful is, little different topic, but one day we went out for steak, and it was so nice. We're just having a real bonding moment.
Mm.
A good spot, the ranch, right? That's what it's called, the ranch.
Yeah, now you're gonna make me forget the name. Bob Taylor's Ranch House.
Thank you, bro. See, I knew I had one word right, but
Yeah,
yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. But it was so cool when we got there. We ate, right, and it's an old school place. Like it's been there for a long time in Vegas. And you share something so powerful. One of your mentors, who was like a grandpa to you. I
Mhm.
think that it was so nice you got to share that. I got to share my rabbi with you, who meant the world to me.
Yeah.
Who was also my mentor. Brother, can you share a little bit about him so like people know like the things you guys would do together? What
Mhm.
made him so special to you and to the family too? You know.
Yeah. So yeah, it was like pretty much my mom's best friend's dad. So like zero blood relation, but he pretty much treated my mom like his daughter and treated me like his grandson. Like every family event we were there and like everything. So yeah, he wasn't like my grandpa, but he was like my best friend or like my favorite person ever. Um, but yeah, pretty much just he just like believed in me. Like I think that's like where all the respect not all the respect, but most of the respect I got from him. Like he came to every one of my games in high school, like all my soccer games, volleyball, tennis. I didn't miss one game. Like he didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like he's got other stuff to do. He's got other grandkids, but no, he came to every single one of my games, whether my mom or dad couldn't make it, which they made like 99%. But he came to every single game. When I was first trying to get a job out of high school, I applied at like I think it was 16 like 16 different places and just kept getting turned down left and right. Obviously, I had no experience. I was just out of high school. Um, so he was like, you know what? I'll give you I'll pay you. Like, I'll have you just do little side works for me, like scrub my pool, do my yard work, fix my bird feeders, or go to the store for me, or drive me here. Like, and he's like, cause I know how hard how like hardworking you are and all the effort you're going to put into it, and you'll show up on time. He's like, because I'm going to treat this like a job. Like you're going to show up when I tell you to show up. He's like, I'll pay you for your lunches, I'll pay you for your naps. He's like, and I'll let you know we're done for the day. Like it's your first job, you got to start being disciplined, kind of like school, but kind of more like for a family. So I definitely don't want to mess up, but for a family member. But yeah, he just took the chance on me and helped me get my mind and body ready to work and whatnot. So that was super cool. But yeah, like he was just like my grandpa pretty much. Like my first grandpa passed away when I was, I don't know, elementary school, so I didn't really have too much memories of him. So he pretty much stepped in and was there for my mom through everything, and then same for me. So pretty much couldn't have had it any better.
Wow. And explain to me too, like your tattoo, right? I actually got to see it for the first time in real life.
Yeah,
When we went outside and we got wild, but yeah, say, but I know this is the yin yang. What does it like represent that
yeah.
tattoo?
So I never like really asked him about it too much, but he wore like a yin and yang necklace, like 24/7, like didn't take it off ever, like always wore it. I never really asked him about it because I wasn't like when you're younger, you're not like, oh, let me go ask my grandpa why he did this when he was younger. Like you're just living in the moment. You know what I mean? It's not until they start getting like sick and they're like, oh shoot, let me start asking about their childhood and about their family background and about their bloodline, all that stuff. So I never really got the chance to like really like uh you know dive deep or whatnot, to talk about it. But I pretty much, when he passed away, I was like, I would never get a tattoo. Like, I'm not a fan of tattoos. I was like, but my best friend Nick was actually getting a tattoo for him because my best friend Nick, like, that was like his grandpa too. Like, my grandpa was just like the best ever. If he believed in you and trusted you, loved you, like, he's doing everything for you. So my best friend Nick actually got a tattoo of for my grandpa too, and his is also like a yin and yang. Half of it's like the ocean and like a dolphin, and the other half of it is like the mountains and stuff. Just because he loved being in nature, he loved going to beaches and hiking with his dog and everything. And so mine is like a normal yin and yang with his name on top. And then I did like his birth date around it. People sometimes do like their death date or like the born here, passed away here. So I did his birth date, just to celebrate like the day he like came into this earth or came into this world, instead of the day he left. So a lot of people do like the death date or the Roman numerals or whatever. So I was like, let's have a date on there that symbolizes like happiness and when the best person to me ever like came onto this world. But so I did that, and then like for the little dots, I did like a semicolon. It's kind of like a hidden meaning. Most people know like semicolons for like suicide and stuff, which that's where he did like that's how he did pass away. But it's not like just the normal like dots, so you won't really like notice unless you pay attention. And then you can see like when people get semicolon tattoos, it's either they've tried to commit suicide, or they know someone that did, or they just something where like they relate to it. You know what I mean? So like I never have anything, but it's just my grandpa did. So I was like, cool, that's a cool little hidden meaning. And the tattoo artist like thought of it, and I was like, that sounds sweet. Like I've never seen that. Like in a yin and yang, like not
Yeah.
just standard dots. That was like a semicolon. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Wow, brother, that's amazing. And that dog, bro. So, guys, there was this dog that followed him everywhere,
Mm.
and Tristan showed me a video where the dog would not move and get the ball unless he says hike, right? Can you share a little bit about that? Because I thought it was the coolest thing I've ever seen, brother. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, so pretty much like it was like the dog was like his best friend. Like it was like a service dog, um, kind of a service dog. He bought a jacket off Amazon, threw some patches on it, and was like, "Yep, it's a service dog." And like he never got his certifications or anything. He was just like more well trained than any service dog. And like I'm like, yeah, this dog knew English. Like he understood every word he said. He went to every bar with him, every restaurant, anywhere. Like no one could tell him, you can't bring a dog here. He's like, it's a service dog. Like you can't, pretty much you can't say no. He would throw like a little red blanket down, and then the dog would just lay on it, not move, not say a word. Dogs would walk by barking. He wouldn't even acknowledge them as if he was like deaf or something. Um, but yeah, with the whole like hike situation, he would just play football with the dog in the backyard. He'd be like his receiver, and he'd be like blue 42, huh, 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 huh. And then like the dog wouldn't even phase, and then until the dog said hike, or until Grandpa George said hike, then the dog would just take off running, like sprinting for the ball. The dog would like run laps with him in his lap pool. The dog would, I don't know, dance with him, go up on his shoulders, go in between his legs. When he would be driving, and he would be like sit right there. The dog would just sit right there in the passenger seat like a little human. Literally everything. So it was super cool to see. And I'm like, dang, I need my animals to be like that. My animals are not that smart, but that's because he spent every day, every hour with them. So who knows? Maybe one day when I'm retired, I'll talk to my dog like my best friend too.
Right, right. Yeah, I mean, now you got cats, so they be going meow.
It's a
Yes.
little different.
It's too funny, man. Well, look, brother, I'm really happy. I got to have you on the show, and it means a lot. Like you got to share a lot with the crews, what your parents mean to you. Grandpa George, I think is so dope. I do want to share one last question, right? To wrap it up before we wrap it up. When you came over to my house for the first Shabbat with your mom,
Mhm.
what was your experience like? Tell us a little bit about going to your first one. Like this was
Mhm.
really cool. You meeting other people. If you could share a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I didn't really like. I think I knew. Like I met a couple of your friends like once or twice, like if that. So I didn't really like know a whole bunch of people. Obviously, it was just like a small group of us, just like your close friends. Um, but I was like, Mom, you want to come with me? Like, she's been to a couple of Shabbats in her day. I'd never been to one, didn't know what it was until you told me. And not being like raised around super like religious people or anything. I was like, I don't know what to expect. I can go in there. He could be like, cheers, fucking cheers, or you could go into an hour long thing of like, excuse me, just like talking to me about the gospel or about the Bible, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, oh dang, like I'm just not about this. But like I said before, like how to like reach every type and every like level of people. Like you don't have to be Jewish or this or that or like no matter what your background is, ethnicity, anything, like how to connect with everyone. Like I never seen you like not be able to connect with at least about one thing with a person. So I knew like bringing my mom, like I'd be like, yeah, like David, he'll find something in common with you. And when she like, when she talked or something, you're like, that's how I think, and she didn't even know. She's just like, oh, that's just how I was raised, and you're like, yeah, me too. So you just like learn like different backgrounds people come from, and you can relate somehow, like we're all human. We can relate in like something, whether that's your favorite color, your favorite music, your favorite sports team, your religion, your race, anything. Like you'll find something. You know what I mean? Like there's not something there's not one person in this world that we don't have anything in common with. Whether it's your hair color, something. So I think you do like a great job with like making everyone feel included and like bringing everyone together. They're like, oh shoot, I don't know any of these 8 people, but we can all talk about the same thing and laugh and giggle and share our own stories. And like the big thing is like not be judged. Like yeah, some people might come to your Shabbos and just be like, yeah, I'm never going back there again. And so be it. You can't help everyone. Like, nobody's perfect. So, it is what it is. At least you tried to be nice with them or cool with them, and they might judge or they might be like, offended or whatever. But you're like, I'm just here. I'm just trying to bring everyone together and trying to have a good time. So
Right. Thank you, bro. Thank you. That's so sweet. That, bro, that meant a lot because I was nervous doing this first Shabbat, and I didn't want to mess up with the blessings and
you're shaking. You're like,
right. Yeah. So it was just so nice that when I did the whole thing right, for those who don't know, we we do the blessing for the wine, and then we wash our hands, and then we do the blessing for the bread, the challah. Everybody loves the bread because it's so good with honey. You already know, brother.
oh, it's like Hawaiian rolls. Mm.
It's so good. I could go for one right now, be honest.
Yeah.
And then once I finish everything, I keep it so short. And I remember one thing you said to me. You said, "I like that you kept it like, honestly, it was like 5 minutes, the whole thing."
Mhm.
And then we just ate. You're like, you didn't do a big old speech like an
Mhm.
hour or 30 minutes. You kept it nice and short. You explained, very briefly, but it was like straight to the point.
Yeah, like you got your point across and everything, so like, everyone understood your message and it didn't have to be all drawn out. You just straight to the point, like you
Right.
said.
Right. And I think it was so cool that in Canada when we were together with
Hmm.
your mom told Michelle and Shondell that we went to David's first Shabbat and it was a good time. And your mom told me she was I don't know if you caught this because I know you took a little nap. You were trying to fall asleep.
Couple,
So
you
she,
know.
yeah, I know it was a long walk. And she said, "David, you should invite Michelle Chandel." I said, "Yeah, most definitely. Like, I'm not gonna say no." And they're really cool people. Like,
Mm.
very fun, great personality. So I do want to plan the next Shabbat, and I want them to come, and of course Dana and Paul for sure. You already know you're more welcome to come. So
Oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah.
yeah. I got an extra room, but that was real nice. Another thing that was real nice, I want to share real quick. When I had my first Shabbat, it was like a really small table,
Hmm.
and we only like Tristan said, we maybe it was like five of us or six,
Hmm.
and the group has gotten bigger. I'm not gonna lie. Now it's like for a Tuesday night class, it's like almost 10 or 11. Even Shabbat has even got to like 15.
Hmm.
Um, One thing that was so nice of you, brother, I'll never forget this. We walked outside one of the Tuesday night class,
Hmm.
and you said to me, "Brother, here's some money." And I'm like, "Brother, you sure?" You're like, "Yeah, use it for whatever you need for Shabbat, whatever, brother. I just want to give it to you." And that money, brother, is crazy. I was thinking about buying like more tables and chairs,
Yeah.
and it's crazy how that was enough for the chairs. And I'm never gonna forget it, and I'm so grateful because I started so small,
Hmm.
and it takes a whole community to grow. And I felt like you, being a good person you are, showing that you're giving, you
Hmm.
did it because you felt like I know David's gonna use this for Shabbat. Like somehow he's gonna do it. And then when you came back, I was like, brother, that table you see right there and those chairs,
That's
it's
me.
because of you, brother. So I had to tell you, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's like the extended table, right? You're talking about
Yeah, yeah,
like off your dining table and whatever.
right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
So
The more the merrier, and whatever you need to like follow your dreams or like reach your dreams. If you want to get to more people, then you got to get more seats. You know what I mean? You can't just have 5-seater and be like, I want to have 10 people over. Where are they gonna sit? you're
in the
you're,
bathroom,
you're
he's
in
saying,
your mattress or what?
right. Oh man, brother. Well, I thank you, man. Well, look, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. This is the Outlet to Reality, the oldest podcast in Vegas and Chicago every Tuesday. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Ching. Y'all know where to find me. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, the Outlet to Reality. My Snapchat's Take One Pass It, and my TikTok is at Yaakov28. And brother, where can my fans find you?
Follow me on Facebook, TristanJames.com. Tell your mom.